हम लोग आज की क्लास में डिक्टेशंस लिखेंगे जो कि एसएससी स्टेनोग्राफर से रिलेटेड होगा और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एग्ज़ाम्स के लिए भी लीगल मैटर्स भी बोले जाएंगे। लोग फर्स्ट टाइम चैनल पे विजिट कर रहे हैं या फर्स्ट टाइम वीडियो देख रहे हैं, वीडियो पूरी देखेंगे। आपको इस वीडियो में कम से कम 3 से 4 मैटर्स बोले जाएंगे डिफरेंट स्पीड 80, 100 एंड 120 वर्ड्स पर मिनट पे, जो कि आप लोगों को तीनों मैटर्स लिखना है और लिखने के बाद मैटर को ट्रांसक्राइब करना है। जो मैटर आप सबसे बेटर लिख पाए होंगे उसी मैटर को आप ट्रांसक्राइब करेंगे, देन ट्रांसक्राइब करने के बाद मुझे सेंड करेंगे। ठीक है, सो एक बार फटाफट से लिंक को शेयर करिए और ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। क्लासेस 7 बजे डेली लाइव होती हैं, सो टाइम से ज्वाइन कर लिया करिए। वॉइस मेरी क्लियर आ रही है? एक बार सभी लोग ज्वाइन कर लीजिए पहले तो बोलता हूँ। रेडी? स्टार्ट। That constitution treats the two houses equally except in certain financial matters which are to be sole purview of the House of the People. In regard to what these are, the Speaker is the final authority. This position is perfectly clear and cannot and has not been challenged at any stage. Unfortunately, to some words were used by my colleague, the law minister, while speaking in the Council of States on April 29, which led to a misunderstanding. That misunderstanding could have been easily removed by a direct reference to him. This was not done, and the matter was raised in the House. Further misunderstanding then arose as between the two houses, and questions of privilege were raised, and it was stated that the dignity of this house had been affected. Full stop. 1 मिनट जरा वेट करिएगा आप लोग। पैरा चेंज करके आगे लिखेंगे, ठीक है। स्टार्ट। All of us are zealous of maintaining the dignity and authority of this house and of the speaker who represents this house. Indeed, all of us are anxious to maintain the dignity and authority of both house which constitute parliament. My colleague, the law minister, is as anxious as any of us to maintain that dignity and authority, and it has been a matter of the greatest regret to him that any words of his should have led people to believe otherwise, and further led to certain occurrences in both houses which disturbed for a while the cooperative and friendly atmosphere which must of necessity prevail in both houses of parliament. Owing to some of these occurrences, he was placed in an embarrassing position where to carry out the directions of one house might appear as if he had ignored the directions of the other. In this dilemma, he might have produced an impression of not having shown the usual consideration which is the duty of every member, but that was far from his intention, and he regret it, and trust that the house will accept his apology for any mistake which they might have inadvertently committed. Full stop. लिख लिया मैडम? चलिए नेक्स्ट मॉडल के। आज आप लोगों को थोड़ा सा अलग मैटर में बोलता हूँ, आउट ऑफ द मैगजीन। सभी लोग अपने अपने सीट बेल्ट लगा लीजिए, ठीक है। ईयरफोन्स लगा के मैटर लिखेंगे और ध्यान देंगे कि कंसंट्रेशन पीक आपका एकदम होना चाहिए, तभी आप इस मैटर को लिख पाएंगे, ठीक है। रेडी? स्टार्ट। I am thankful to the organizers of this convention of the All India Management Association for inviting me to give an address on marginal accountability. I am glad this convention have taken up for discussion a very important aspect of management. Before we proceed on this subject, we have to take into consideration all the aspects of the word accountability. It has three aspects in any walk of life. They are accountability to oneself, accountability to the society, and to the organization in which one is functioning. Accountability to oneself, at any rate, is of supreme importance. The first and most important requirement of any individual, particularly of manager of today, is development of excellence and efficiency in his job. Indeed, it has been given the highest place in the Indian tradition as excellence in action is equated with the very pursuit of truth. Many educational institutes today teach their students how to compete successfully. Competition is with other people, but excellence is nothing but competition with oneself. I would call it a growth experience of one's own personality. Promotion of human welfare and happiness is the essential quality of human activity. It may be related to an individual, group, or society. To identify the appropriate goal for an individual, group, or society, to identify the appropriate goal for an individual, group, or nation. Unless the human values are kept in mind, we are likely to go wrong. Our national goal will have to be achieving total human development. You who are assembled here have had higher education and training and have a better perspective of the challenges the society is facing. Therefore, you have a social contract. You have an additional responsibility to serve and enrich the society. An essential part of that contract is the duty to seek excellence in yourself, to grow in knowledge and experience and utilize his capability for the promotion of human welfare and happiness. Accountability to oneself gets transformed into accountability to society. Everyone is called upon to use his knowledge and professional skill in a way beneficial to society at large. This is the essence of the Indian tradition. No individual, however eminent and talented, can function without an organization through which he has to utilize his capabilities. Some situations may arise in the course of your duties when your accountability to society and to the organization to which you belong come into conflict. In such circumstances, it must be remembered that there are certain eternal values which do not change with time. One of the principles of these eternal values is that whenever there is a conflict between individual and group interest prevails, and whenever there is a conflict between group interest and the interest of the society, the latter prevails. The next point I would like to make is that system of management will have to be evolved taking into account the needs of the society. Indian managers should operate with due regard to the Indian economic situation instead of assuming that what is good for other countries is good for India too. Management science in the West has been developed in relation to organized business and industry. Its application, therefore, to rural problems in a country where 3 out of every 4 of the population live in the villages is extremely limited. The problems which are of direct relevance to our rural folk are completely different from those faced by business corporations turning out products with the help of the latest technology based on computer information and analysis. I would like to dwell upon new areas where professional management will have to play a more meaningful role: the size of population, its growth, the wide disparities in income among the peoples, etc. Call for immediate measures to speed up development. There have to be swift changes to enable rise in income and better employment opportunities to those who are below the poverty line. Simultaneously, national effort has also to be generated to meet the basic minimum needs such as drinking water, elementary education, and rural housing facilities. In this connection, I want to make it clear that I am not again using the latest technology. Perhaps with these modern tools, we may be able to tackle our age old problems more speedily and effectively. How to use the high technology available for the eradication of poverty is one of the challenges facing the modern managers. The management movement in our country can ill afford to turn away from these challenges. Full stop. 110 वर्ड्स पर मिनट का मैटर थे और आज थोड़ा सा बड़ा मैटर आप लोगों को बोला गया और बड़ा ही बोला जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी तक 400 वर्ड लिख रहे थे, धीरे धीरे 800 वर्ड, देन उसके बाद 1000 वर्ड, देन 100 एंड 1015 वर्ड्स, ठीक है। ग्रो करते जाएंगे डे पर डे, पहले थोड़ी सी हैबिट बना लीजिए। आप लोग क्लास ज्वाइन नहीं कर रहे हैं, सभी लोग पढ़ाई के लिए टाइम नहीं निकाल पाते हैं 7 बजे। ये समझ लीजिए जो लोग लापरवाही कर रहे हैं, जिनका एग्ज़ाम है, तो वो समझ जाएं, लापरवाही करेंगे तो पेपर क्वालिफाई नहीं हो पाएगा। रिजल्ट आने के बाद कितना टाइम ले आपको पता नहीं है। सो अभी से केयरफुल रहिए और हर एक दिन को यूटिलाइज करिए। बाकी सारे काम धंधे छोड़ के पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दीजिए। नहीं देंगे तो फिर बेटर लक नेक्स्ट टाइम हो जाएगा। ठीक है, आज की क्लास यहीं ओवर हो रही है। मिलते हैं आपको कल। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।